All right, let's go through a quick walkthrough of the syllabus. We're going to go over some of the highlights of the syllabus and some additional information. This video does not replace you actually reading the syllabus. I would really encourage you to do this either before you watch this or after, but please make sure that you read the whole syllabus. It will have a lot more information, more details about what I'm going to talk to you about now. All right, so you probably have figured out by now that my name is Emily Hine. I've introduced myself a few times in Canvas, but this may be the first video you're watching. So welcome. Here are different ways that you can reach out to me this semester. You can reach me by email. You can also send me a message through Canvas. And I will also be available for office hours. In office hours this semester will be on Zoom as well as in person. For my in-person office hours, which will be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12:30 p.m. I will be in the Mesa Center, but I will also be opening up my Zoom, and so you can reach me either at the Mesa Center or through Zoom. This semester we are using a free online textbook. We've adopted this book a couple of years ago now, and it's been really great and a lot cheaper than what we were using before. All of the content will be posted through Canvas, so you'll see that you have this link to the textbook in Canvas, as well as a PDF version of the textbook if you prefer. The content will be delivered asynchronously. You'll be getting videos for each of the concepts that we're going to be covering. So you'll see that for each chapter, you'll be getting some videos in Canvas along with the assignments for that chapter, and we'll take a closer look at what that looks like in another video. There will be weekly homework. You'll also see weekly discussions or activities. Usually those are based on simulations or a video that you may watch that's a little bit different, and looking at different applications of the concept and discussing them together. And you will also have 3 midterms and a final. There is essentially a test at the end of each unit, and we have a total of 4 units. And the end of the 4th unit, you will have the final exam, which will be cumulative. So I've already mentioned this, but again, weekly homework that will be posted through Canvas. We're also using a free online homework system. And you'll see that when you log into Canvas, you have the homework sets for all of Unit 1 already available. You don't need to go on an external site. Everything will be accessible directly through Canvas. In addition to homework, you will have, as I said, either a discussion, an activity, a little quiz based on a simulation. So again, looking at the topics in a different way, rather than just sticking with what you'll find in the textbook or in my lecture videos. Essentially a way to approach the concept in sometimes more hands-on way, or also a way to connect more to your everyday life. Again, for a lot of the content of this course, it is important to realize that it really ties in a lot with your everyday life, and there's a lot of applications in the things you do all the time. even just watching this video, there's so many different aspects of physics that are going on here, and we'll talk a lot about a lot of them this semester. This is the way that your final grade is going to be broken down. So again, those discussions, you have essentially 1 weekly homework assignments, same thing. You will have a group project. The theme this semester is physics and sustainability. And it will be broken down, and you'll get to complete a part of the project every month or so until you can present what you've been working on to the rest of the class, and we'll talk a lot more about this in other videos and in upcoming assignments. And I know it can be a little bit intimidating, but I've been doing this for a few semesters now online, and I'm always amazed at the projects that I see. And I think it's a really good way to pick a topic that you're really interested about, that you're really interested in, and get to know more about it. And usually the final results are really impressive. And then there are all of the exams that I had just mentioned. To give you a timeline, you can see that you have an exam at the end of each unit. We will be talking a lot more about that by the time we get to this. You will see that Unit 1 is already published with all of the lecture content, all of the homework assignments, as well as all of the other assignments, all of these discussions that I had mentioned before. The only thing missing is the first midterm. That will be posted the week of February 24th. I think that's the last week of February, maybe not. And then you get, so this is a tentative schedule, but it tends not to change too much. But as we know, we have to be prepared for any changes. We've gotten used to be pretty flexible and adapt to circumstances lately. But that I don't anticipate that to change much. And if it does, you will be getting ample notice. This is all information that you'll find actually with more details in your syllabus. So a few more words about the final project, because I think that's usually the one that sounds the most intimidating, especially when you are getting started. The first step will be to find your group. And usually we do that by looking at what topics people are interested in working on. And you'll see that the very first, I think one of the very first discussions that you'll have will be to talk about physics and sustainability, and how we can tie the two together to give you some ideas of various topics. And if you are stuck and if you have no idea, please do reach out. As I said, we've done this a few times now, so I can talk to you more about topics that have been used in the past. You'll see you'll be given some examples. And then from there, we will, every month or so, build up, and we'll follow the scientific method until the end of the semester, when you will be submitting a short video that explains essentially your process. So I think there's already some about me in another video about introductions, but a lot of what we're doing this week is also getting to know each other a little bit better. So I have a PhD in particle physics from UC Irvine, if any of you are interested in that school. I did a lot of my thesis work from the SLAC National Laboratory, If you're not familiar, if you look at the picture, you may recognize there's Highway 280. And the very long building here is the linear accelerator. I don't know if it is still the case, but it used to be the longest building in the world. I am currently also working on a nuclear physics project. So Skyline joined a nuclear physics collaboration called NEXO. And we've had a few students work with us, and it's been really exciting. And we're back actually at Slack working on the project. So I'm telling you all of this because it's really important for me to also get to know you more. The reason for this is one of the reasons, there's many reasons, but a big reason for this is that I'm really building this course for you. So that means that if I know about, potential challenges that may come up, or if you've had a bad, past physics experience, or if you have some hobbies that are related to physics, those are all things that I can use as I create assignments, as I share content and things like that. So I really want to make this course relevant to you. And you'll see that there is a survey that's posted in Canvas. I think that's the first assignment that you'll find where you'll be asked to answer these questions. This is all for credits. The good news is that there's no wrong answer. And again, so this is good for me to have that feedback. And you can also mention anything that may be coming in the way of you being successful in this course, so we can work together. So this survey is for my eyes only, so I'm the only person who will see the answers to that. You will also see that there's another assignment that uses Flipgrid. And this is so we can have little video presentations of each other, so we get to know each other better in that way. All right, so here are some of the important dates. There are more in your syllabus, so please take a look. I want to make an important point here, which is the fact that, if you decide to drop the course for whatever reason, well, there are two important points. So one, don't assume that because you stop, completing assignments and going to your Canvas page, that I will automatically drop you from the class. I try not to do this because I know that students sometimes need a number of units for a number of reasons. So I'm really careful about dropping students from the course. And if you are planning on dropping, and that could be for a number of reasons, especially these days, but please reach out to me if you can, because depending on the reason, well, so I could potentially help you out. We could come up with a plan, right, depending on the reason. But also it could be that I have access to, information about some resources that may be available to you. So please, if you can, please reach out. Let me know what's going on so I can help. And also, if it's about how you're doing in the class, many times, if you come talk to me, we can come up with a plan to make sure that you are successful in this course. All right. So these are some highlights, and you'll see that there's a lot more information in the syllabus. You'll see that there's a schedule that's a lot more detailed in terms of like when we're going to talk about this or that topic, what chapter we're going to cover when, and more information about grading and stuff like that. So please make sure that you read everything. And if you have any questions, reach out. Again, you have my email. You can reach out through a Canvas message. You can also sub by office hours. And by the way, if the times that were listed for office hours do not work for you, please reach out and we can find a different time to meet. All right, so also I want to point out that this is an online course. It's going to be delivered asynchronously, so the content will be lecture videos that are posted in Canvas. I will send you weekly announcements with what to expect and for the week and things like that. But I want to point out that one of the most difficult things about taking a class online, and you've probably realized this by now, is to stay on track and make sure that you're not falling behind. So at this point, if you look at the tentative schedule, you kind of have an idea of when homework is going to be due and things like that. So you might want to put that in your calendar. Don't start the day before, because you'll see that. So you're given a lot of time to complete assignments, and you want to get started early. And you need to spend some, time outside of class to study, to complete your assignment. I would highly encourage you to find a study partner in the class. So that could be somebody you're going to work with for the group project, or somebody else. But that tends to be really helpful to have somebody to work with, to remind you of, oh, hey, did you finish your homework for tomorrow? And or somebody to bounce ideas. So if you don't understand something and you have easy access to somebody who's already done the assignment or something like that, that can be very, very helpful. I'm here for that as well, but I know that it's not always easy to reach out to me. Please don't be afraid to do to reach out, but I know it's easier. It's easy for me to say, but I really hope that I get to see you in office hours. And make sure that you're taking good notes, that you have your, everything organized and everything is online. But still, just think about your future self, right? When you're completing your homework assignments, for example, you might want to take some good notes, because the final will be cumulative. So think about your future self in 3 months, who's going to be or in more, like, in a few months, who's going to be trying to get ready for the final, and who'll be really grateful to you for having good notes and having them well organized. And last but not least, I just want to give you our class philosophy. It's based on the fourfold way. And there are many ways that you can interpret this. So I don't want to give you necessarily a very narrow interpretation, but the first principle is to show up or choose to be present. And I think that can be particularly difficult in an online class, but I think it's also important that you are here, you're enrolled in this class, and you want to make sure that you really participate in you'll see that there will be discussions and other things like that, but that you show up. So that's, if you don't show up, then nothing is going to happen, right? And so the first principles really is about, like, in order to be successful, you need to be here. Number two, pay attention to what has heart and meaning. I think for this class, it's particularly important because I think, we can get through assignments and we can sort of like, I can learn a concept and But I think we really need to put a meaning to it. So it can be different for everyone. But my goal, at least for you, is to see that the concept that we're going to talk about really apply to your everyday life. And it will give you a different way to look at the world. And so, yes, it's when, you need to get through homework set 1 and do that. But I think it's more about not how many points you're going to get, but more about, what you're getting out of that and how that's going to show up in your life. And again, different ways to look at this statement, so you can pick your own way, but that's sort of my interpretation. Number 3, tell the truth without blame and judgment. So I think this is to do a little bit about how we are going to communicate together. And there's, again, it's kind of a broad statement. It could be applied to a lot of things, but we're going to be doing some discussions in this class. Canvas discussions. We're going to, but also it's, what I was telling you about earlier when I was talking about the survey. This is a course for you, so it's really important also for me to have your feedback, so I can make sure that this is something that corresponds to your needs. And so if I don't know, and so I there will be opportunities for you to give me feedback. There will be anonymous surveys and things like that. But I also want you to feel comfortable about, letting me know if you're struggling about something, or if if you need more, different sort of resources and stuff like that. I am there. I am here for you and to help you. And on that note, also in terms of telling the truth, you'll see that there is a whole paragraph about cheating. And so again, I think that goes, into that statement as well. Number 4 is be open to outcome, not attached to outcome. And my experience from, teaching physics for a really long time now, is that depending on the class, and it depends a lot on the student, but I know a lot of people are really scared of physics. And so again, I want you to have an open mind, and I really, really think that everybody can be successful and learn physics. I'll tell you that I was terrible at physics in high school. I really did not enjoy it. And I started really loving it in college. And I didn't know. When my high school counselor asked me what I wanted to do, it was anything but physics teacher. So you never know. So that's why, be open to outcomes, and you never know. And I really hope that you're going to enjoy this class, and I hope that we can set everything up in a way that we will be able to do that. So you can think about these statements now in terms of how they're going to apply to this class, but you see that maybe as we progress through the course, maybe you may find that some of your perceptions are going to change. But in any case, I just want to really welcome you here. I'm very excited about teaching this course. And I know it can be a little bit different online, but even though we are going to interact a lot through the computer, through the screen here, remember that I am here as a person. I am available to you, and I really want you to be successful. So, all right, thank you, and I will talk to you soon.